welcome to Wembley Stadium, and I'm glad to report first of all that the rain at last has stopped. So at the moment, at any rate, we have a dry night. Certainly it's also a cold night and an important night for English football as England take another step in the European Championship. They come fresh from their wonderful victory against Czechoslovakia in this same stadium just 3 weeks ago when they really turned it on in the last 20 minutes. And tonight take on a Portuguese side that is young and inexperienced and just a little vulnerable too. So I think really we can expect England to attack them hard tonight. But of course all that is conjecture at the moment. But now we're getting, with this atmosphere at Wembley which is unique, building up yet again, we're getting now towards kick-off time. So both teams now happy to flex their muscles as the rain starts to come down again. The England players now very much public relations conscious these days, coming to give a wave to the crowd. A crowd really that supported them brilliantly, again in bad weather, against Czechoslovakia, and are intent on doing the same here tonight against Portugal. So let's catch up on the teams for tonight's game, and it really is good news for England that Terry Cooper has passed a test on his injured left ankle this morning and he plays. So that really was the last doubt lifted from Don Revie's mind. Adam Clark returns, and Trevor Brooking and Dave Thomas, who came on as substitutes against Czechoslovakia, now get in at the start. So it's a great night then for Terry Cooper, out of the England side for some 3 years now after breaking a leg, and expect to see him doing a lot of attacking down the England left flank. The Portuguese team for tonight, gone are the days of the great Eusebio as they look into the future. Perhaps their best known player is Nene, the main striker, while Umberto, the most experienced defender, both players from the Benfica club. But there's little doubt that if things go well for England tonight, that their busiest player will be Damas in the Portuguese goal. He's from the champion club Sporting of Portugal. He's won 15 caps for his country. And the referee tonight from Switzerland is Anton Bukeli, and so thorough indeed is Don Revie these days that he's even had a report on him as well, the things that he's hot on, his overall refereeing attitude and so on. So there we are, Anton Bukeli, Switzerland's #1 referee. A good big crowd here, almost capacity crowd at Wembley. There's the real hero of the match against Czechoslovakia, Colin Bell, who probably played his best game for England on that night and topped it all off with 2 superbly taken goals. It'll be England then defending the left-hand side, attacking the goal to our right. In their new style white shirts and blue shorts. Portugal are in red shirts with white shorts and green stockings. Portugal attacking the goal to our left, but tonight is a night when we expect England really to do all the attacking. Oswaldino, who won his first cap last week against Switzerland, a back heel there by the number 7 Alves, going straight into England's possession, and here's Colin Bell. Tried to find Clark. Again Alves, the man who wears the gloves. Texeiro, number 6. To this giant of a man, the number 4, Alhinho. Oswaldinho. So important that England make an early breakthrough as Arthur turns it back to Damas. They are vulnerable. They can become dispirited and a little demoralised. The Swiss certainly found this last week when they scored after 8 minutes. The Portuguese had played well up to then, but then they became very quickly demoralised, and it really was a walkover for Switzerland. Let's hope it can be the same sort of thing tonight for England. Cooper, 3 years out of the England side after breaking a leg. And now Emlyn Hughes. Jerry Francis played so well against Switzerland, against Czechoslovakia in his first cap. Watson planting it forward, and Clark caught offside. Humberto, the skipper, takes it. Oswaldino. Tried to plant it forward towards Nene, but Madeley now, and it's a free kick for the foul by Watson on Alves. And here's Alves again. Wears those gloves not because he's cold, but because his grandfather, who was a great Portuguese player, also used to wear gloves, and he wears them in memory of him. Texeira planting it through again. Hughes there for England. A long ball by Bell to Alan Clark with beautiful direction. Jerry Francis linking up well. Trevor Brooking is there well. That elegant stride, that gifted player. Still with Brooking. And a long shot, and Damas really had to go down to stop that one going through for an early breakthrough for England. Cooper. And the Portuguese really coming away. And offside again. And England at the moment really haven't got an answer to this offside trap that the Portuguese are employing really quite efficiently at the moment. Humberto, the Portuguese captain. Alhinho. It's a throw to England. Oswaldinho doesn't think so, but it was given so by the Swiss linesman. Watson, absolutely no bounce at all on that particular part of the ground there. Madeley finding Thomas now trying his luck on the far side. It's a fair looking cross, and Damas is there. Humberto. Martins. And Chico brought down from behind by Hughes, and a free kick to Portugal. And the Portuguese so far in this opening 17 minutes or so must be really quite reasonably satisfied with the way they played. In no way overawed by the threat of many goals coming against them from this England side. And here's Chico. With close control again. Very often is a case, though, that continental sides coming here really lift their game when they play England at Wembley, and at the moment that is certainly happening with the Portuguese. But here's Hughes for England. Bell played for Madeley. Osvaldinho. Back to his goalkeeper, Damas. Humberto. He's not going to put it back again. No, he's not. Texeiro to Osvaldinho. Oh, and now taken by Bell. And here's Shannon. Now that'll fall for Jerry Francis. This could be dangerous for Portugal. And is it there? Yes, no! Did Thomas shot cross the line? No! That was so very close to getting over, but it's still England on the attack with Colin Bell. Turned in again towards Francis. Well, that really was very close indeed, as Chico now takes it up for Portugal. Still with Chico, and then England's defence closes in on him and Mabley finds Thomas. So unlucky there not to have put England ahead. And there really couldn't have been more than inches in it. Arthur stopping him that time, and Texeiro, who looks a busy little player. Still 20 minutes gone, and still 0-0. Texeiro again. A long way back to goalkeeper Damas. Watson with the header. Shannon, oh, nicely laid on there for Francis. Mabley. Open a little bit of a gap up here now for Watson, and here's Jerry Francis. Shannon trying to get one. Osvaldinho. There was a little bit of obstruction there, giving England the free kick, which Thomas will take, and of course it was from a free kick in a similar position on the other side of the field, the other end of the field, against Czechoslovakia, that led to the first England goal. Clark getting in there, but didn't quite get the glancing header that he wanted. Thomas, oh, a bad short pass taken up by Alves, and then Chico. Octavio, and Nene right up there too. It's with Nene. This could be dangerous for England. In the end, Cooper and Clements between them rescuing England. But a good swift breakout there by Portugal. Watson. Cut out quite easily though by Texeiro. Martins. Octavio. Trying to look for Nene again, but maybe back to Clements. Fall for Bell. No, he was offside. So it's Martins for Portugal. Alves. Arthur being chased by Clark. Well, that's an England substitution on the far side. Somebody warming up on the far side, it seems. And Cooper is going off. In fact, Terry Cooper is going off. Well, what a tragic comeback for Terry Cooper. 3 years out of the England side, and his comeback has lasted 23 minutes. And it's Colin Todd who is coming on for England. Number 16, Colin Todd. So that really is a tragedy for Terry Cooper. But certainly the defence in no way weakened by Todd, who is playing as well as anybody in the first division at the moment. Just back after injury himself, as Francis now tries to get Shannon away. absolutely no run at all on the ball there. Octavio had to wait for it, cut out by Brooking. So Arthur with the throw for Portugal. Too high for Bell. Here's Todd. Finding Brooking with a nice pass. England 3 players up now. And Portugal are stretched a little bit at the back there, but a good clearance by Alhinho. Chico to Teixeira. And Todd will get that one with plenty of time for England. Alhinho. Nene. Rather an ambitious ball there. And Hughes for England. Todd has gone, rather Bell has gone off on a run, and Francis caught well offside. Again, every member in that Portuguese defence, bar the goalkeeper, a good 15 or 20 yards outside their own penalty area, coming forward swiftly and again catching England offside. And so far in the opening half an hour, England have really found no answer to that offside trap. Alhinho. Osvaldinho. And a throw to England. Watson for England. Todd. Clark, and it'll fall for Colin Bell. Now has Bell got a route to go? He's brought down and it'll be a free kick. So again, the Portuguese making no bones about conceding free kicks on the edge of their own area. Mind you, Bell was in a menacing position for them. Shannon behind this one, Thomas behind this one, and the England crowd getting behind the team as well. Brooking and Francis are there too. Shannon looks as though he's going to try and blast it. He does! And Damas really didn't know what hit him. It hit him on the shoulder and he really didn't know how it happened. Offside now against Clark. Tremendous free kick there by Shannon. Well, let's have a look at that free kick again. Shannon really hitting that. As you can see, it hit the goalkeeper on the chest. Alhinho, the number 4, is a new figure to England. He certainly wasn't in the side that played Switzerland last week. There's the cross from Bell. Run it down again towards Shannon, who hopes to turn it in. But it's wide. An optical illusion sent the crowd on the far side into ecstasy, thinking that was in the net. But it was wide, as we shall see now. Good jump there. It goes past Brooking. And Shannon just a couple of feet wide. Todd. Francis, the back header. Hughes. Again, that back line of defenders has come forward. Only Umberto has gone back and he's playing Shannon onside. So they're all right at the moment, but Umberto was in there timing that challenge well. And England certainly have got to find somebody who's going to make some well-timed runs from the middle of the field to beat this offside trap that the Portuguese are working so well at the moment. Here's Thomas with the cross. Brooking hopeful of hitting it on. Will it come through to Clark? Bundle off that ball, and another free kick given away by the Portuguese on the edge of their own area. An elbow in Clark's ribs that time. Umberto there trying to get an explanation out of the Swiss referee. And Emlyn Hughes, you can see there, saying please make sure they're back 10 yards. So it's some 19 yards from the Portuguese goal, a yard outside their area, and it could hardly be more in the centre than it is. Bell is behind it. The wall is a matter of 5 or 6 yards back. It's got to go back further. And there are plenty of men in that wall. Francis and Brooking and Shannon are the men around that free kick situation. And Hughes is there too, slipping though, and a chance is gone. Somehow that epitomises the whole frustration of this first half for England. Umberto, a good jump there in defence for Portugal. So Arthur will take the throw. Hughes, Todd. England constantly coming forward, but really have made very, very few chances for themselves in this opening half. Brooking, Hughes again trying to stir this side up, this English side. Watson, Bell is right in there, breasted down that time for Madeley. But again, the Portuguese coming in quickly with their challenge, and Teixeiro's having a tremendous game in the middle of the field for them, this time finding Nene. There's the shot, but it's far too high. Not happy with the pass, but little Teixeiro did so well for him. Umberto. Anybody who saw the Portuguese side in Switzerland last week would never have recognised them as the side that were humiliated out there, looking so disorganised. Now here's Brooking. They've defended so well so far. Arthur, though, rather clumsily has given away a corner. Big Dave Watson coming up for this one. Dave Thomas will take it. Shannon on the goal line. Bell making his run towards the near post as well. Is floating in there again towards Shannon. Fisted away but not very far. Brooking is right in there. It still won't come there. It still won't come there. It's like a pin table in there and it still won't go in. And finally Portugal get it away. And how they've got it away. As Nene is chased by Todd. And Todd superbly there for England. Back to Clements. Good play by Colin Todd. Thomas now again for England. That's one of the good wing runs that he's made so far, and he's got another corner for England in the last minute or so of the first half. Really hasn't been very much for the England fans to cheer so far. Bell there, Francis with his arms raised. Clark is there playing it back again to Thomas. An offside decision against Thomas. As the whistle goes for half-time, a really frustrating first half for England. The crowd are booing the Portuguese, presumably for their offside tactics and for the way that they've been passing the ball back so frequently to Damas in their goal. But they've played with more organisation than you could have thought possible, having seen them a week ago. And they've frustrated England all along the line. So can England do something better in the second half? We have a short break then. We come back with the second half of England against Portugal from Wembley. So welcome back to Wembley as we start the second half. England now attacking the goal to our left. And really the question of this second half is, can they break down that barrier of frustration that Portugal have built in front of them in the first half? Here's Todd playing the ball forward towards Shannon. Alhinho getting in there again. I think it really is a question that England must be able to, or at least find a way to deliver the ball quicker from defensive and midfield positions to front runners. Because their chances are not helped by the fact that both wings are so difficult, with the rain which is still pounding down onto that recently turfed area where the speedway track is, makes it very difficult for England to play wide. But here's Shannon doing his best. So the Portuguese really have defended in great depth in the centre of their defence. Here's Madeley in towards Clark. Alves, and back to Damas in the goal. Chico. Oh, that caught England off balance there, and Todd and Nene, and here's a chance for Nene. Madeley covering, and the Portuguese are coming up fast. Still with Nene, and the cross going almost there for Octavio, beyond the reach of Clements, and that was so nearly a sucker punch there, providing a goal for Portugal. But now it's Thomas taking it up for England. Hughes, Watson, again a slow delivery forward, giving the Portuguese time to mass, but yes, they caught him offside again. The crowd are howling. But the Portuguese are playing a dangerous game, but they're gambling, and at the moment are winning with this offside tactic. But at the same time, all credit to Portugal. They defended with a lot of discipline after a shaky opening 10 minutes or so. Brooking taking that one, and it fell off Clark back into Portuguese hands again. But now here's Brooking again for England. Got Bell up ahead of him. Plays it wide there with great accuracy for Shannon. He's looking out for Bell, and he couldn't quite get Bell, and Thomas couldn't reach it either. Bell saying to Shannon that he wanted it lifted a little more. So Arthur will take the throw for Portugal. And Texeiro. Played there for Chico. Todd is with him. And Todd, who has been superb since he came on, gets it to Bell. Again, the ball hit forward, and again offside against Mike Shannon. Again, the crowd are howling. Shannon is puzzled, as the rest of the England team are, but it's a perfectly legitimate tactic. I wouldn't know whether that's aimed at England's inability to get past this Portuguese offside trap, or really aimed at the negative tactics from the Portuguese. But the Portuguese have also shown a lot of discipline. Another throw to England. Thomas now with the cross again. Colin Bell's going in there with a header and a goal kick. Hughes, Todd, well, that'll show you how the offside trap's being played. Shannon was caught offside, some 7 yards inside the Portuguese half then. Arthur Mind you, if there's a break, it could be devastating, and this is what we've got at the moment as Clark now takes it up. It's virtually 1 against 1, and Arthur coming and quite blatantly chopping him from behind and gets the yellow card. The yellow card to the Portuguese number 2 for blatantly chopping down Alan Clark. As we can see now, that's where Clark got the treatment, and that's why Arthur got the yellow card. So a free kick then to England. Brooking again behind it, Hughes. And the crowd wondering if perhaps this is going to be the moment. There's the wall. Still nothing like 10 yards back. And the referee really never winning that battle against the Portuguese wall. It can't be more than 6 yards back from the ball now, and England so frustrated by it. There's Shannon going in, he's hit it, no! And will it go? No! England claiming that there should have been a penalty for this for some offence. But the referee said no, and England have got a corner and nothing more. So a corner then to England. Thomas will take it. Loading in once more, the goalkeeper came and went back. Francis dinked in again. But Portugal had called everybody back. Todd, a neat, almost casual little pass there. And now Hughes coming up on the blind side. Thomas. Again that cross towards Clark on the far side, and Bell too! Just a fraction too high from Colin Bell. A really spectacular volley there by him. Certainly Don Revie has been made to suffer in these opening 2 games, because we've gone past the hour mark before England scored their first goal against Czechoslovakia. And here we are nearly 20 minutes into the second half, in a match where most people thought England would win comfortably, still being held to 0-0. But now Shannon. Oh, good play here by Shannon. Played on again there for Clark, but just a fraction of a yard too far ahead of him, and the red shirts are piling back. Thomas turning it in again and noted down. Oh, and a fine save there by Damas from Bell. Well, that's as close as England have been to a goal in this second half. Alves to Octavio. Todd on for Brooking. Flicked on again nicely there for Brooking by Shannon. Still Trevor Brooking then for England. There's his cross coming in, and Humberto forced to head that behind for the corner. Just a little more menace from England now in these last 2 or 3 minutes. Watson again has gone up for this corner from Dave Thomas. Shannon's header, but didn't really begin to catch that properly. 25 minutes now to go. Minutes to go. England 0, Portugal 0. Brooking just nudging that on for Clark. Octavio fighting for it, but he was beaten by Watson. Hughes now finding Shannon. Here's Jerry Francis. The cross by him towards Clark, and it could fall for Bell. It's come for Hughes instead. Onto the left foot, and he couldn't get a shot in. 3 Portuguese defenders were onto him. And Martins brings it away. Todd back to Clements. Thomas. far too firmly hit.
Brooking hoping to fasten on that one, but Umberto, Octavio and Arthur, well, they just survived being a handball, and I think Texeira was making a real meal of that. Don't think for a moment he's fooled either the Swiss linesman or the Swiss referee. And indeed, as you can see, he's up on his feet again. Now Chico. Brooking. Hughes. Another substitute warming up for England on the far side. Oh, a nice little ball played there by Shannon now for Brooking. There's his cross, hit hard and low. Clark with the shot. And down goes Damas and turns it away, with Osvaldino getting in there before Dave Thomas. Chico. And that's played for Nene and cut out very acrobatically by Hughes, and as well that it was. Free kick again to England. There's Cocker allowed to come on to the field to look after Thomas. And in fact, there's an England player who is changing on the bench at this moment, has got his tracksuit off. Frank Worthington coming on. Number 14. And Don Revie, you can see there, urgently giving Frank Worthington instructions. I should think Don Revie is just a little worried, as indeed most of this massive Wembley crowd must be at this England performance so far, and their inability to break down the Portuguese defence. So here comes the free kick now. Shannon going in there, Damas with a fist away, Brooking there with his header, but it's not going to get anywhere. And it's Alves who gets it away. Turned it again by Madeley. Alhinho that time getting it away. Todd, or rather Bell, the little touch. And the mighty Portuguese boot sending it into touch. This could well be the moment for Worthington to come on. There's Cocker saying, referee, can we bring a player on? Number 10, you saw the outstretched fingers of Les Cocker. It's number 10, Alan Clark, who's going off. And Frank Worthington there waiting to come on. Todd to Hughes. Hughes again. Offside again. And at least 4 England players were caught offside. Just 20 minutes now to go. Playing it in there. Shannon trying a back-headed flick. Hughes getting there to Thomas. A lot of arm signals there from Dave Thomas, and headed on by Worthington now. Is this the one for Shannon? Straight there though for Damas. Couldn't quite get the shot at goal that he wanted there, Mick Shannon. Good jump by Worthington that led to that chance though. Portugal now waiting to bring on two substitutes. Well, that'll come for Brooking. They gathered so well with such great discipline in defence, the Portuguese. Brooking there, free kick, although Brooking claims that he played the ball. Well, it really is quite a gamble by the Portuguese manager. With his side going so well, in the last 5 minutes of the game, he's bringing in two players, Oliveira, number 15, and Romo, the number 16, and significantly, both of them are strikers. In fact, it's the two strikers that are going off and two strikers that are coming on. Nene and Chico are going off. Oliveira and Romeo are replacing them. So he certainly doesn't intend to unsettle that defence that has defended so well. Putting on a couple of fresh strikers in the hope that they might find something in the last 5 minutes to bring about a shock victory to Portugal instead. Thomas. And Oliveira, number 15. So Portugal now spring out the two substitutes, and there's one of them there, Romeo. Hughes to Thomas, he couldn't control it, and it's a throw to Portugal. And we're inside the last 5 minutes of the game. England look despondent and very, very dejected. And totally bewildered too. Well, Hughes has let him give it a slip there. Oliveira, this is, the substitute. Octavio. Suddenly the Portuguese sense that they might even be able to pull off an amazing victory. Watson in there, Octavio, and it'll be a goal kick to England. But so little time left. It's a throw, and it's a yellow card there for the Portuguese. Osvaldinho. Todd. And away they go again, Portugal. Martins. Alves to Martins. And at the moment there seems no way that England are going to get 2 points from this game. A free kick to Portugal. 2 minutes to go. Portuguese player claiming he's injured. And if you are, you've got to go off, said the referee. In fact, his boot's off. Bell claimed that was handball by the Portuguese. Arthur pumping it away again to Octavio, who's never ceased to work for Portugal in the middle of the field. Martins has had a good game too. Alinho. Octavio again. Here's Madeley. On my watch, about a minute and a half to go. Watson playing it here for Thomas, and Arthur misjudged that one. Now, could Thomas make something of this? He's let it go too far.
And that really is England's night capsuled into just a few seconds. The frustration of it all. Damas will take the kick in the last minute of the game now. Watson with the header. Brooking there. Worthington brought down, and I would have thought so too. I thought for a moment he was going to let that one go. It's a free kick to England, and precious little time left now. In fact, we're in the last seconds of the game. Hughes with the free kick for England. Chip there towards Watson, and behind for a goal kick. Well, I think the Portuguese and their fans at home will hardly believe it. Last week they were getting headlines like Portuguese football in ashes, but now they've risen again. They've got the goalless draw they wanted, and the Portuguese can hardly believe it. They're raising their arms in the sky. They're giving Damas there a great hug, and Umberto, one of the strong defenders. But in the midst of all this Portuguese jubilation, Don Revie goes away. It's been a night of total frustration for him and disappointment. And England have dropped such a valuable point in the European Championship here at home. Well, in a moment, we're going to take a break as the England team, a bewildered England team, wonders how it is they've been held at home to a goalless draw. What a load of rubbish! The Wembley crowd are crying out. That is unfair. But certainly it was a bewildered England side here tonight. We're going to take a short break now, and after that break, we'll see what Don Revie has to say about the night. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Wembley Stadium, and certainly a lot of people who thought it was going to be so easy for England tonight have been sadly mistaken, myself included, and for that I apologise to you. But I wonder what the reactions of Don Revie, the England team manager, will be at this moment. Let's go and join him now, and with him is Keith Macklin.
Don, after all the talk about a feast of goals and a glut of goals, that must be an anticlimax for you as well as everyone else.
Well, I think let's get the record straight, Keith. I didn't talk about goals and records. The press did after watching them against Switzerland. And against Switzerland, they didn't play well. The goalkeeper in particular didn't have a good game that night. But tonight, they've played well, and they've played with a sweep, and they've played man-for-man marking. And they got what they came to Wembley for, a draw. And we didn't deserve any more than the draw because we didn't play well. Don't let's make any excuses. I feel very disappointed for the players and in particular the crowd.
Have you anything to say about their persistent use of the offside trap and some rather cynical fouling in the second half?
No, I felt that this was part of their tactics to play the offside, and we should have been thinking about it and ticking over to try and catch them out with it, and we didn't. Against Czechoslovakia we did it a lot better, but they kept possession of the ball well. They knocked it around, they waited, they made quick breakouts, and our performance was bad. And when you play bad yourself, you can't expect anything.
Don, many people are bound to say that this looks like the old England, who can do everything but score goals.
Well, one or two chances with that tonight, not a great deal, but the keeper made 3 or 4 very good saves. One in particular off Mick Channon from a free kick. But
yeah, we may well be able to see that free kick. This was typical of the way Damas did play. By the way, just to tell you, Don, Portuguese Airlines sent over a pair of gloves specially for him because he's superstitious about what gloves he wears, so they chartered a special plane.
So must be like me if it was superstitious, so he did well.
Here it is, Don. It's a tremendous shot.
He comes off his body and comes the other way, and then we went to stick that one in the net.
And that wasn't the only save he made during the night, of course.
No, that is true, but our all-round performance, we didn't play well. We didn't deserve any more than the draw.
Well, now, in the European Cup, you've now got 3 points out of 4. It should have been 4 out of 4. Your chances of winning this particular section must have declined after tonight's result.
Well, I think if you're going to win any section or any league championship or any FA Cup tie, you've got to compete away from home as well as at home. And it's up to us now to pick ourselves off the floor and do well away from home against Portugal and Czechoslovakia and Cyprus.
One of the disappointments for you must have been the early withdrawal of Terry Cooper. Was he giving you distress signals?
Unfortunately, we tried him out this morning and he felt good. We sprinted and twisted and turned him and he didn't feel a thing. And he said he went for one early ball and kind of got his foot round the fellow's leg and he felt it'd go. That was in about the first 10 minutes. That was a disappointment because I felt with him there, out wide, playing as he can play, would he give us a better balance. But unfortunately, it didn't work out.
You had Mick Shannon and Alan Clark as strikers before you substituted Clark for Frank Worthington.
Yes.
Do you still feel you haven't got your scoring blend, Don?
Well, I don't think you can get things knocked into shape in 6 days. I said after the Czechoslovakia match, and I've said before the Czechoslovakia match, that it would take 2 years, 2.5 years to get the team knocked together and understanding each other like a club side. I think it takes this long because of the period you don't get them together. But tonight things never went right from the start and we never got going. And the Portuguese played for a draw and they got it and played very well.
How much would you blame the slippery pitch?
Well, I think the pitch helps a pack defence like this, like they play with a sweeper, because it takes forward a little bit longer to get the ball under control and it gives defenders chances to make the tackles and sliding tackles a lot easier on a pitch like this. But don't forget, Keith, that they had to play on the same pitch as we were on.
Well, very, very quickly, Don, between now and February, what are you going to concentrate on?
Looking at players, trying to get the players together for 2 weekends if possible, where we can go through things. But mostly getting around the country to see players and talk to managers, and I'll be interested to see the reports that the 11 managers put in tonight who are watching the team performance as well as individuals.
This indicates to me, Don, that you haven't stopped looking at players even outside the pool you had tonight.
Well, you can never stop looking, Keith, at players. You've got to keep on looking all the time, hoping that young ones are coming through, hope the ones that you're going to play are in form and this type of thing. And I think all the time I'm looking towards 78.
Thank you very much indeed, Don, and back to Brian Moore.
Thank you.
Well, there we are. Of course, there were other championship matches being played tonight, and if there was disappointment at Wembley, there was gloom at Hampden Park as well, because in spite of a goal by Billy Bremner, the final score there was Scotland 1, Spain 2. The Republic of Ireland did very well, though. They went to Turkey and got a 1-1 draw with a goal by Don Givens, who'd scored a hat-trick, of course, in an earlier match against the Russians. But pride of place tonight must go to Little Wales. They won by 5-0 against Luxembourg, having already beaten Hungary in this championship. But there we are. Well done, Wales. A lot of disappointed people left Wembley tonight, but we're going to leave you tonight with the loneliest man in this big stadium, Don Revie.